Jahns personal.
We will get personal. You don't screw with McMahon's family. That crap is gonna stop.
Triple H. McMahon. No holds barred. WWF Armageddon, December 12th on Direct Ticket. Order and receive a free Armageddon license plate. Visit WWF.com for details.
Welcome back, everyone, to the channel. I am your host, Zach, here on the Roadhog Nation YouTube channel, and this is Retro Rewind, episode number 13, and we were reviewing Armageddon 1999. And how is everyone doing today? Merry Christmas! Yeah, it's Christmas Day too, by the way. I didn't realize that. But Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I am in Oklahoma, actually, at this exact moment. I am home. It is Christmas. I am celebrating with my kids while this is premiering. Merry Christmas. We're going into the new year. A week from today will be the 1st of January. A week from today, I will be doing my big rebrand video, unleashing everything that's going on with the channel, announcements, etc., etc. But t-shirts, all of that will be on the channel. A lot of different t-shirts are going to be out there and whatnot. I actually already have a few t-shirts that I think everyone should look at. Quick edit, I had to fix something. But yeah, some shirts that are actually already available on the site as announced on a few weeks ago are these shirts, actually. I will reiterate this again. We're doing the Hope for Ambi special sale. It's a limited time offer. It's only running through Valentine's Day. All the proceeds that I make from these shirts, as well as the GoFundMe, which will be linked down in the description below. All those proceeds go straight to the family for medical bills or to help with the bills that they need at home. Whatever the family finds most useful for them to help in the current situation, as our close friend Amber does have cancer. I am doing these shirts specifically for that. Personally, I like the Star Wars design, but the Frozen seems to be their favorite. But yeah, Hope for Ambi. You guys can go to TeePublic.com. You guys can get those shirts. Remember, all of these are going straight to the family. All the money I earn from these shirts between now and Valentine's Day goes to them. And if you don't want to buy a shirt, you don't want to go donate at the GoFundMe, you guys are more than welcome to just hit the like button, just to show, just so they know that you guys actually care. And that would mean the world to them anyways, just the support from everyone. So, but that is that. So let's get into the review. Okay, so Armageddon, 1999. I can't wait. Oh my gosh. So this was this was a funny show. A very up and down show. So Armageddon 1999 took place in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, at the National Car Rental Center. 17,054 appeared in the crowd with a 371,000 pay-per-view buy rate, which was not the greatest, but it was an off pay-per-view. But I loved that set design that they had set up. Michael Cole doing interviews. Kevin Kelly was doing interviews. Lillian Garcia did some interviews. Jerry Lawler, JR, both obviously were on commentary. The whole thing, they had a hype package all about Vince McMahon and Triple H. And that's what this show was centered around. That would end up being the main event, was Triple H and Vince McMahon and the whole marriage to his daughter. Oh gosh, it was the start of everything. As I put in the thumbnail, beginning of an era, of course. Show opened up though with a 16-man tag team battle royal for the #1 contendership for the tag team titles going into the Royal Rumble. It had the Dudleys, Edge and Christian, the Headbangers, the Hardys, who came out with Terry Reynolds, Pete Gas and Rodney, the Acolytes, Too Cool, and the Godfather and Mark Henry, who had a short run as a tag team. And of course, they came out with the ladies. Dudley's cut a promo when they got out there wearing the old school tie-dye. They'd only been in the Federation for just a short period of time at this point. Bubba still doing his stuttering. Cutting a promo on Edge and Christian. Edge and Christian to come out. They attack the Dudleys before anyone else even gets in the ring, so the rest of the teams then made their entrance. If a member of a team was eliminated, the entire team was out of the match. Rodney punches Christian in the corner. He gets pushed out. He's eliminated, but then Joey Abs comes back in. He gets dumped out. Rodney's back in. Pete Gas then gets eliminated. So a lot of switching around for the Mean Street Posse, but then they're finally actually gone. Mosh gets backdropped out of the ring by the Godfather, eliminating the Headbangers. Excuse me. I actually have a cough. Acolytes working together. They eliminate Mark Henry. He and the Godfather are gone. The crowd kind of silent during this match. Not a lot of interaction with the crowd during this. So, pretty dead crowd at this point. Scotty, Too Hottie, and Christian on the apron fighting Edge and Grandmaster Sexy. They notice Grandmaster Sexy, prior to his elimination, constantly adjusting his pants. They charge, and they both members of Too Cool get dumped out at the same time, leaving your final four teams to be the Acolytes, the Dudleys, the Hardys, and Edge and Christian. Edge and Bubba Ray are fighting. Devon and Christian are on the outside fighting. Edge evades a suplex. He lands on the apron of the ring. Gets pulled down by Devon all the way to the barricade. Excuse me. Edge and Christian then are eliminated. Headbutt to the groin on Bradshaw by the Dudleys. 3D on Jeff. Matt tosses out Devon. The Dudleys are then eliminated. It's down to the Acolytes and the Hardys. The Hardys brawl. Hardys are in control. Bradshaw and Matt both go to the outside at the same time, so we don't know who was eliminated. While they're trying to figure that out, Jeff is in the ring. He hits a head scissors takeover on Farouk, who goes over the top rope to the outside, but the referees didn't see it, so he gets right back in. Twist of Fate on by Matt onto Bradshaw. Poetry in Motion onto Farouk. Bradshaw's on the apron. He's nearly eliminated, but hangs on. Matt then gets tossed to the apron too. Both men are on the apron trying to hold on. Jeff Hardy runs at Farouk, but he launches Jeff probably a good 10 feet in the air, and Jeff lands hitting on the barricade to eliminate the Hardys, allowing the Acolytes to become #1 contenders at the Royal Rumble. It was a decent match. It was a battle royal, a lot of quick eliminations. I do like the beginning with the the Mean Street Posse going back and forth. I thought that was kind of entertaining, a little bit funny, but it was a good match. The Acolytes winning the match, I think, was a good thing. Lillian Garcia interviews a newly debuted Kurt Angle, still that white meat babyface, so he thinks. He says he's still undefeated despite the loss that he and Steve Blackman, who would be his opponent, had on SmackDown. He talks about the issues that him and Blackman are having. that they were this team and everything. But on the previous SmackDown, things kind of imploded with him, which, well, led to this match. So, we go to that match. Kurt Angle versus the Lethal Weapon, Steve Blackman. Steve Blackman cuts Kurt Angle off before he can ever get his promo off. He comes in the ring. He's just kicking and punching shots in the corner onto Kurt Angle. A hangman over the top rope. Blackman works over Angle with a scoop slam. Misses a diving headbutt. Angle some big shots to Steve Blackman. Nice drop kick, though. A slam by Angle. Angle goes up top. Misses the moonsault. But my God, does he not have a perfectly, just the way he flows. It's beautiful. Beautiful moonsault. Blackman applies a broken arrow. Hard whip into the corner with a big backbreaker. Blackman with a submission. Angle whips Angle and then ducks, and Angle hits a DDT. Suplex by Angle, tosses Steve Blackman to the outside, gets some boring chants. They're fighting on the outside. Back in the ring, a sunset flip by Steve Blackman into the ring for a 2 count. Crossbody by Angle gets rolled through by Blackman, and he gets a 2 count off the pin. Double underhook by Angle, a boot out of the corner by Blackman, big shoulder block by Blackman, snap suplex, spine buster into a jackknife cover by Steve Blackman for a 2 count. Then Enziguri by Blackman is missed. That gets reversed into a German into a bridge by Kurt Angle, who gets the 3 and the win. But after the match, Steve Blackman gets in, hits Kurt Angle with his nunchucks, and he still stands tall. It was a good match. I enjoyed the match. It was weird to see Kurt Angle in such his early babyface phase again, especially when you know where he was, he ended up going. But yeah, this was a nice, I think, first real feud for Kurt Angle. Yeah, it was good. So, yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on it. BB, Barbara Bush, I think is what she went by, is backstage changing behind one of those changing fold-out wall thingies as Michael Cole tries to interview her. Which leads to, oh dear, the evening gown pool match for the WWF Women's Championship with the special referees, the Fabulous Moolah and Mae Young. Ivory, the champion, defends against Miss Kitty, Jacqueline, and BB. Look, before I even get into this match, 14-year-old me really loved this. I'm more than sure 14-year-old me loved this. But let's also remember, 14, 15-year-old me didn't have much of a brain. Going back and rewatching this match before I even speak about it, because when I speak about it, you'll understand why I just feel the way I feel. And I almost thought about using this as the thumbnail and somehow making it funny, but then I was like, I'm likely going to offend some people. But this was probably the WWF's most blatant, risque, just sexualized thing they did with the women at this time. And it's appalling. Look, I love the body of a woman. Don't get me wrong. But this, literally trying to show some TNA. And I ain't talking about Test and Albert, okay? They were going out of their way to be like, look at this. Naked women on pay-per-view. No. This was just not at all. I was not for this at all. So before BB and Ivory could even get to the ring, Kitty and Jacqueline were arguing, and Miss Kitty, who was terrible in the ring, yet the company was pushing her for some reason. I think because she was Jerry Lawler's gonna-be wife, or already wife at this time. She's already ripping the evening gown of Jacqueline. Jacqueline ends up getting tossed into the water, and then when BB comes out, her and BB jump into the, jumps on her, and they fall in. Like, this girl was just whatever she wanted to do. So Ivory comes out. They all pull her in. Ivory's trying to rip, Jacqueline's gown off. And in taking it off, rips her bra, and you see Jacqueline's, tits. So Jacqueline's gone right away. Jacqueline, who's was a world-class wrestler, being put in this, and then having her bare boob exposed was, So Kitty and Ivory are double-teaming BB. They get her gown off, so she's eliminated. But then Ivory gets up on the platform that she's standing on and is literally trying to rip her bra off. Stop. My God. JR, and yeah, commentary. JR talking about how, that bra is probably balanced on everything. Stop it. And this was, great for King. He was such a perv. King was, over perv throughout the entirety of the night. Commentary, I love these guys, but this was one of those nights that I really just kind of felt they're being a little bit annoying. Yeah, JR usually, every once in a while, JR pulls something like this off. But Kitty pulls Ivory back into the water. They're pulling at each other. They're in the water, dumping each other, trying to drown each other. Ivory ends up losing her gown. So Kitty wins, and she's celebrating. And she gets on the platform with Mae Young and Moolah. And she says, she cuts a promo, says, I told everyone that I was going to win. And she says, but I know what everyone came here to see. Y'all came to see me naked. Of course, the crowd cheered, right? Obviously, but she says, and I'm not here to disappoint you. She says, but they made me wear underwear. Oh my God, I can't believe this was a thing. I can't believe this was a legitimate thing. So she starts dancing and takes off her gown, and she's wearing white underwear and a white bra. And my God, you could see everything, right? And then she takes the bra off, and for about 2 seconds, I remember watching this on pay-per-view and being like, because 15-year-old me was an idiot. Little did I know there was free porn. But, yeah, so Sergeant Slaughter comes in with a towel, immediately. Covers that shit up. There was no time. And they censored it on the network, obviously. But, and then Mae Young says, she's got a promo, y'all came to see my puppies. And God bless Mae Young. Rest in peace. She was hilarious. But she starts doing a strip dance. And Slaughter comes with a towel, and he stops that too. Poor Slaughter. The match was garbage. All right, there's no way of cutting it any other way. This match was straight garbage. No. As much as I like going back to these old pay-per-views, and as much as I enjoyed the matchups, when it came to the women, more often than not, I ended up walking away from those matches thinking they were garbage. And it's not because of the performers. It's just the way WWE booked it. This is right when they started just getting models and people like that. So here's a little bit of training so you can kind of take a bump and, an arm drag or something maybe. A freshly debuted Rikishi interviewed by Kevin Kelly. He's talking to him about the Hollies, and he comes at him with, a rhyme. And the issue of this is because Rikishi's fat, and the Hollies are in the middle of their gimmick where they're the super heavyweights at allegedly over 2,000 pounds. But he says he's there to represent all the healthy fat people in the world. And then he says about Viscera, who is his partner, should have his back. So we go to that match as the Holly cousins take on Rikishi and Viscera. Of course, this is Rikishi Fatu's pay-per-view debut. So Crash is testing Rikishi. He goes for a sunset flip, but Rikishi don't move, and he sits on Crash. Gets a 2 count. Rikishi goes to head up top, but he gets knocked off by Hardcore Holly, who then gets tagged in. He gets some shots in. A reversal on the Irish Whip. Rikishi into the corner, crushes Hardcore Holly. A nice belly-to-belly, and then tags in Viscera, who kind of just doesn't want to even get into the ring at first. He doesn't even seem that interested. The Hollies try to work him over. That doesn't work. He just kind of tosses them around like they're nothing. Misses a double splash, though, so they take advantage of that. Some stomps in the corner by Hardcore Holly. Missile drop kick. Crash Holly and Hardcore double team him. Crash goes for another sunset flip. But Hardcore Holly at this point is trying to clothesline Viscera. And he goes for it one too many times as Viscera back body drops him and then hits a leg drop on Crash. Rikishi gets in. He's on fire. Pop-up neckbreaker onto Hardcore Holly. Hardcore Holly hits a DDT and it doesn't even phase Rikishi. Martial arts kick on Holly. Rikishi with his his Rikishi pile driver on Crash Holly. Hardcore grabs Rikishi from behind. Viscera tries to make the save, but ends up doing a spinning heel kick and hitting Rikishi from behind. Hardcore Holly covers Rikishi for the win, and the Hollies, the super heavyweights, go over on Rikishi and Viscera. After the match, they kind of have a stare down. Viscera shoves Rikishi, martial arts kick, and then they brawl to the outside. What do I say about this match? It was there. This was just one of those, we need this, so let's just kind of throw it on the card. Let's put the new guy on, and we'll team him with Rikishi, because that makes sense, right? But hey, I actually did like the Hollies gimmick at this time. I thought the whole super heavyweight thing was funny. And this was right before Crash really started into the hardcore thing. So then they start fighting about who's going to be hardcore champion and stuff. And they did get a tag team title victory out of all this, so that's a plus. Lillian Garcia interviews Val Venus, and he talks about becoming a champion before and says tonight he receives another opportunity to win gold. And he will win the European title and take it to Europe and find a lady so she can see that he's both the Eiffel Tower and Big Ben all wrapped into one. And then he talks in Spanish to Lillian Garcia and woo hers, and she leaves with him. Triple threat match for the World Wrestling Federation European Championship as current champion D'Lo Brown takes on current champion British Bulldog, who was wearing his jeans at this time, who came out with the Mean Street Posse, takes on D'Lo Brown and Val Venus. I also loved D'Lo's theme music at this time. 1999, D'Lo's theme, when D'Lo was becoming this hot baby face. Actually, I loved that theme song. Bulldog was with the posse. I completely forgot that was a thing. But they all come out. They actually helped him win the title back in October on SmackDown when he defeated D'Lo Brown. Referee Teddy Long, though, holla holla playa, makes the Mean Street Posse leave ringside. Val and D'Lo double team the British Bulldog, but that partnership didn't last very long. You get a lot of exchanges and shots. D'Lo dives over the top onto both Davey Boy and Val. Brawling on the outside, Val sent into the steps. A double team on Val Venus. Stops some stomps in the corner. D'Lo then punches Bulldog. Hard whip into the corners. D'Lo goes for a DDT. Slips on the rope. He's trying to do like a springboard DDT off the ropes, but he slips. So Val, he hits an elbow, gets a 2 count. Val tried to recover. Bulldog watches Val and D'Lo punch each other. They notice and they double clothesline him. Double standing suplex onto the Bulldog. And then they both fight to try to make the cover. You get some D'Lo chants. Bulldog gets to the outside. He's just kind of watching. D'Lo gets crushed on the top rope. Val goes for a superplex, but D'Lo hits a sunset flip. Hard bump by Val on that. Bulldog pulls out D'Lo. D'Lo double team. D'Lo gets back into the ring. Sends Val out. Spine buster on the Bulldog after some trash talk to Val Venus. D'Lo hits his frog splash, but the cover gets broke up by Val, who hits the money shot. He covers Bulldog for the win. It was a good match. A really good triple threat match. A lot of double teams, all 3 men actually being involved. Nowadays, you see 2 people in the ring, 1 on the outside, rotate with a couple spots here or there. There's actually a lot of good spots with all 3 of these teams, and this would actually end up being Bulldog's second to last pay-per-view appearance. I believe he was in the Rumble in January. And then you really don't even see from him again. So, yeah, and this was Bulldog's last European title run, his last championship run, I believe, at all. I don't even know where he went after this. He didn't go to WCW, that's for sure. But I did. I loved the match. Val Venus winning the title was a good thing. I actually enjoyed it. Michael Cole interviews X-Pac. Says Kane agreed to his terms. Kane can only win by pinfall. The door's going to be chained shut. And X-Pac can win by pinfall or climbing out of the cage. And he says, also tell your old lady stop calling him all hours of the night. She ain't going to get none. And he points to his crotch. Cage match. Kane with Tori versus X-Pac. X-Pac locks the door. Gets in Tori's face. Kane climbs out. Kane jumps him from behind. He gets sent into the ring post. And all of this started, with X-Pac and Kane being tag team partners, champions. And then X-Pac going through this little storyline where he, feels like he's got to be, one of the big heavyweights. And that leads to these guys eventually breaking up and X-Pac turning on him when DX reformed. Yeah. Nice spinning heel kick by X-Pac, who's trying to use his quickness on Kane, who's clearly the stronger of the men. And then JR asked Kane to stop with all the penis innuendos, because that kept happening. And he kept talking about Tori in these very sexualized ways. But who's shocked? It's Jerry Lawler in the 1990s, 2000s era. Yeah. X-Pac climbs to the top of the cage, but Kane goes after him, gets him, but he gets crotched. Gets his head smashed into the cage. Big leg drop by X-Pac. X-Pac then hits a DDT on Kane off of a reversal. However, Kane grabs X-Pac by his throat. A nice tilt-a-whirl backbreaker by Kane. He begins to punish X-Pac. And out come the Outlaws with bolt cutters. They slam the door into Kane's head. They slide the chair in for X-Pac, but Kane's up first. X-Factor to Kane on the chair. X-Pac cuffs Kane's hands to the cage. Then Kane takes unprotected headshots. Oh my god, like 3 or 4 just wallops Kane. He took those. He took them bad. So let's see. Yeah, Tori, she gets in the ring, into the cage, pulls X-Pac down. He delivers an X-Factor on her. Goes for another chair shot, but he gets kicked in the face by Kane. He goes to try to climb out of the cage, but Kane breaks the cuffs, but that's not on the camera. They had a bad shot at that point. But he does catch X-Pac and pulls him back down into the ring. Slams the door in X-Pac's... He gets out of the cage, catches X-Pac as he's climbing out, puts him back in, and then slams the door in his face. And then he climbs to the top of the cage, hits a gigantic clothesline. Crowd's going crazy. He hits a tombstone for the 3 count. Him and Tori are left standing tall. It was a good cage match. Really good cage match. The psychology of it was good. Obviously, with Kane being a much bigger guy, X-Pac being able to use his quickness, a little assistance. It wasn't overly booked. It was actually pretty damn good. And Kane winning was the right decision. Especially where you think where it's going to go. Going to WrestleMania and Tori turning on Kane. Spoiler alert. And yeah, they slowly build this and take it from one point to the next to the next. And I thought they did really good with that. We get a promo package for the Intercontinental Championship match between Chyna and Chris Jericho. We then go to that match with the Intercontinental Championship on the line. Chyna and the new Women's Champion, Miss Kitty, taking on Chris Jericho. This started before Survivor Series where they had a match. Jericho, believing that she should be the champion for reasons and that he'd have to restore legitimacy to the championship. Yeah. They're driving each other crazy all the way up to this match. Jericho even broke Chyna's thumb in kayfabe. Before the match starts, Jericho jumps Chyna. She hits him with some forearms and then a back elbow. JR talks about how men had underestimated Chyna, some who aren't even in the organization anymore, referring to the man who she beat for the title, Jeff Jarrett. Chyna pushes Jericho to the outside, does a diving clothesline off the apron, thumb to the eye by Jericho. He suplexes Chyna onto a table, swings the chair at her and barely misses. Tries to hit her again. Kitty pulls it, and Jericho knocks her down. Drop kick into the chair by Chyna. She gets sent into the steps, though, by Jericho. Kitty gets shoved. Jericho back in the ring with her. Low blow by Chyna, and then a handspring elbow into the corner by Chyna, followed by a DDT. Jericho gets Chyna caught in the ropes. Drop kicks the thumb. He slows the pace down, starts working on her hand. Goes for a powerbomb, but Chyna counters that into a roll-up for a 2 count. Drop kick by Jericho. Chops and shots in the corner by Jericho. He exposes the top turnbuckle bolt. Knee to the head of Chyna. Backbreaker and a stretch. Jericho trash talks her. Chyna ducks the clothesline. Dueling cross bodies. Kicks in the gut by Chyna in the corner. Jericho hits a running bulldog. Goes for a lion salt. Knees up by Chyna. Swinging neckbreaker. Jericho goes for a hurricanrana, but that's countered into a powerbomb. She then catapults Jericho into the exposed turnbuckle. Big clothesline, but only gets a 2 count. Crowd, they're unhappy with that. Chyna attempts a pedigree, but that gets countered into a backslide for a 2. Hard forearm by Jericho. Belly to back off the top, countered by Chyna into a kind of a sloppy reversal. But she gets a 2 count. Pin's messed up. Victory roll by Chyna, countered into the walls of Jericho. She gets to the ropes, but Jericho pulls her back, and Chyna's left to tap out, becoming the new Intercontinental Champion for his first of a record, 9 title runs. So, yeah. This was a great way to put the new guy over, Jericho. After the match, though, Jericho's getting interviewed by Uncle Cole, who he calls Mitchell. He's talking about, how he called himself, sexy and gorgeous, and talks about bringing the legitimacy back to the title. Chyna walks up. Jericho's like, you want to fight? You want to fight? And she just shakes his hand and congratulates him, leaving Jericho kind of perplexed, but still playing off like, yeah, I'm the bad guy. And this would be the start of a Jericho face turn, as him and Chyna would end up becoming co-champions later on, and then they'd have their triple threat match at the Royal Rumble the next month. I really did think the match was good. Probably one of Chyna's best matchups, wrestling in, but, Jericho was that guy who could pull a great match out of almost anybody. So, fantastic. Honestly, really fantastic. Tag Team Championships on the line as the New Age Outlaws defend against the Rock and Sock Connection. Of course, huge pop for The Rock when he came out. And Rock having to carry the company at this time with Austin being gone. Foley and Al Snow had received a title shot the month prior at the Survivor Series where they lost, and Foley ends up breaking up with Al Snow to get back with The Rock as partners. It sounds way worse than it is. And they kind of made Al Snow kind of jealous, to where obviously it sets up for something that's going to happen in this match a little later. Yeah. Mankind and Roadhog, they start the match. Nice little pace. Foley with a side headlock. Roadhog gets out. Foley's trying to do the, and Roadhog just tells him to suck it. Billy Gunn gets in. Crowd pops for Rock when he gets in. They're popping for The Rock, so he gets tagged in. Billy and Rock, they kind of stare down, going back to their summer feud where Billy just got buried. There's no other way of putting it. Billy got buried. Billy goes to remove his shirt, but The Rock punches him. Obviously with a big pop. Foley then works over Billy Gunn. Billy tags in Roadhog. Roadhog goes for the shake, rattle, and roll, but he gets caught with a mandible claw. Match breaks down. Rock and Billy go to the outside. Billy's tossed in the crowd. Then back into the ringside area. Slammed on the table. Back in the ring. Where he rakes the eyes of The Rock. Outlaws are in control, but The Rock fights back, beats up Billy some more. Irish whip countered into a modified neckbreaker by Billy. They work over Rock. Billy drops Rock onto the barricade. Roadhog with some shots in the corner. Irish whip into the corner. Crotch chops by Roadhog with a big clothesline by The Rock out of that corner. Rock almost gets hit with a pump handle slam, but he counters that. but the Outlaws do manage to still maintain control. Sleeper applied by Billy, but Rock fights out of it. Hits a big DDT. Tag to Roadhog and a hot tag to Mankind. Foley comes in. He's on fire. Hitting knees on both Outlaws in the corners. Goes for a shake round roll attempt. But Roadhog actually ends up hitting the referee. Who then gets hit. Roadhog gets hit with the pile driver. Foley goes for the cover, but there's no ref. He tries to help him up, but Billy jumps them, so the ref's back down. Rock gets in, takes out Billy. Double arm DDT. Foley gets Sacco. Mandible Claw. Out comes Al Snow, who hits Foley with head. Roadhog goes for the cover. He gets a 2 count. Rock jumps Al Snow in the aisle with a clothesline. They fight down to the entranceway. Shot with the ring bell. Foley kicks out of that. Pile driver on Foley. He kicks out. Outlaws attempt a spike pile driver, but Foley fights out of that. Gets a tag to the Rock. Rock comes in. He takes out both Outlaws. Samoan drop. Spine buster on Billy. Rock bottom on the Roadhog, but Al Snow comes in and attacks Rock, getting the Outlaws disqualified, allowing for them to get the victory. Foley and Snow, they start to fight. Rock hits a people's elbow and a Rock up bottom on the Roadhog. Then Al Snow gets hit with a Rock bottom and a people's elbow. It was a good match ending. Kind of figured it was where it was going to go, especially with Al Snow having issues with them. You knew they weren't going to win the titles. But it was an okay match. It was basically a match where Rock got to embarrass Billy Gunn some more. That's just kind of what it was like. Funny thing, though, it was about this time that I was like, oh, cool, main event time. And then I was like, oh, wait, there's a WWF title match. Oh, hell. Yeah, because I completely forgot. Oh, yeah, Big Show defends the title on this. Because I forgot Big Show was even the champion. We go to that match. Big Show defending the title against the Big Boss Man, who was the hardcore champion at this time. And all of this started well before the Survivor Series. Big Show's kayfabe father died. He found out he was a bastard. You know, he even got called a big nasty bastard, which he actually ended up using that as one of his nicknames. I remember actually all of this and seeing Boss Man drag away the coffin during Big Show's funeral for his dad. Oh my God. Freaking hilarious. Oh, it was also hilarious. But I'm also thinking, like, why would you have cameras at your dad's funeral? And his mom, no, I have to tell him, Paul, you're a bastard. You're fake daddy. Call Big Show dumping a car and Bossman and Albert. But Bossman actually beat The Rock to become #1 contender, of course, with help. And exposed Big Show as an illegitimate bastard. He cuts a promo before he comes out for his match and makes fun of the show. Makes fun of Show and then talks about his fake daddy crying. Reads a poem about if Big Show was my son, I'd want to die too. Like, this stuff wouldn't fly right now. In 2020, none of this would fly. So Big Show comes out. He shoves Boss Man into the corner. Starts beating him up. Tosses Boss Man. Then to the outside, they're fighting. Headbutt to Boss Man. Gets hit from behind by Albert, but he picks him up. Chokeslams him through a table. Boss Man with a chair shot to Big Show's head. So Big Show's down. Boss Man has to muscle him up into the ring. He gets some boring chants. He drags Big Show towards the center of the ring. Covers him, but gets pushed off at 2. Shoulder blocked by Big Show. Boss Man gets chokeslammed. 1, 2, 3. And the match is over. Big Show's not even celebrating for like a minute, and they cut away to go to the promo for the main event. I kid you not. This match was less than 3 minutes. Why was it even there? Why was this even there? This just tells you, and is indicative of just how non-important Big Show's title run was. His first title run. It was just that unimportant. If I rated any of these matches, this one would get a negative negative star rating. It really would. Negative star, negative points. It would be a 0 or less. Just point blank. But speaking of the main event, oh dear God, did I take a lot of notes on this match? No holds barred. Triple H versus Mr. McMahon. And of course, all of this actually began in September on SmackDown when Vince won the championship from Triple H and then forced him to go into Unforgiven by having to qualify. But it really picked up momentum at the Survivor Series when Triple H was defending the title and Vince cost him the championship. And it just ended up getting a little more personal from there. Everything from tossing Shane and Stephanie and Test down steps, Vince wrecking the DX limo, some orders of protection on Vince after he tossed Triple H off the stage, and then Triple H marrying a drugged-up Stephanie McMahon in Vegas during her and revealing it during Test and her wedding. During the contract signing, after agreeing to nullifying the marriage, Vince has to sit and watch Shane get tossed off the stage through tables. And I remember, and even now I think about why Test was never in this match. Why Test never said, hey, Vince, let me beat him up. He just took my woman. No, Test is made to look out like a joke. I think he had one match with Triple H after this, and Triple H embarrassed him. So Triple H comes out. Stephanie sees at ringside. Triple H bought her a ticket. Loved his old theme, by the way. You know, that old Triple H theme was pretty damn good. He comes out carrying a sledgehammer, kisses his ring. You know, he's really playing into the fact that, oh yeah, I'm married to you, Steph. What are you going to do about it? Triple H was 28 and Vince was 53 at this time. Just putting that out there. Vince comes out, tosses powder right into Hunter's eyes right away. He's taking a lot of shots at Triple H. Lands some body blows. Triple H swings wildly, but Vince with some more shots. A clothesline. Low blow by Vince McMahon. Triple H rolls to the outside. Vince follows. Gets tossed into a table. A knee by Triple H. A reversal into steps by Vince. They brawl into the crowd. Triple H knocked onto a wheelchair. Fans are dumping trash onto him because he was super over as a heel at this time. I know a lot of people say, oh, he never deserved it. No, he actually did work his ass off. Then he got married and it just made things a lot cozier for him. And again, why was Test not a part of this match? Never even came out. Never even came out during the match. Jesus Christ. Where was I? Yeah, so they're fighting in the crowd. Trash just dumped onto Triple H. Vince gets sent into the garage door of a garage there. Triple H was in control. Crowded, yeah, they hated Triple H. Headshots by Triple H. Triple H back body dropped over the barricade, back to the ringside area after pummeling Vince. Out comes Foley, though, with a cart of weapons for Vince McMahon, and he's cheering him on. Vince with 5 big shots to Triple H's head with the trash can lid, something you're definitely not getting away with today. More fighting on the outside. 3 more headshots to Triple H with the trash can right in front of Stephanie. Vince choking Triple H with the crutches, gets his head rammed into the steel steps. Then a low blow. Triple H begins to assault Mr. McMahon with various different weapons. Vince face first into the helicopter where JR makes the line of, I think I have it here. Oh yeah. 50 cal hedge. JR says, these types of helicopters weren't made for this type of environment. It's a fucking helicopter. I think it could take. It goes to war. So where was I? Yeah. So another low blow. Triple H beats up Vince some more. Triple H tries to hit Vince with a 2x4, but Vince fights back. Triple H tries to hit Vince. A trash can shot. Vince gets a big wrench. Shots by Triple H. 50 cal shot to Vince's head. Godly. More back and forth. They're fighting backstage. Vince is tossed onto the hood of a truck. Triple H drops an elbow. He walks away. Vince starts looking for him. They leads to the parking lot. The ref gets sent away. And then here comes Triple H in a car, almost ramming, but he hits the wall instead of Vince. So then he jumps out of the vehicle and he beats up Vince. Some more. Backed into the arena as Triple H is beating up on Vince. A lead pipe shot to Triple H's gut. Vince swings and misses the second shot. Triple H climbs up this tower. Vince follows. He rams Vince's head into it, and Vince falls down into a bunker. He gets the mic, asks Stephanie to tell him how it feels. How does it feel to see her daddy get his ass kicked, right? I know, my phone's buzzing. He says, but you'll never have to wonder again who daddy is, because baby, daddy's right here. Vince gets up, and Triple H with the mic's like, he really does have a set of grapefruits. Why won't he stay down? And he hits Vince in the head with a microphone. Triple H, he has a pipe. He goes to hit him, but he changes his mind, and he grabs the hammer, and he goes to hit Vince with the hammer. Stephanie screams. A low blow by Vince. Pipe shots by McMahon onto Triple H. Triple H begs him not to hit him. Stephanie gets in, because Vince has the sledgehammer at this point. Steph gets in. She wants to hit him, but she hesitates. Triple H grabs the hammer, shoves her, hits Vince in the gut, then hits him in the head, pins him with one foot standing over him. Stephanie checking on her dad, and he raises the hammer. He's about to hit, and he stops. He puts the hammer down, and Stephanie's looking at him. And then she smiles, and they make out. And it was all a big ruse. Ah! And the beginning of the McMahon-Helmsley era begins as it breaks Vince McMahon in his heart. They celebrate, and they kiss, and it's all like, it is what it is. But that's where that went. Overall, this show was good. That main event really solidified Triple H as a main event guy in the company. Yeah, he'd already been the champion a couple times, but it solidified him. And then Triple H would go on to do the McMahon-Helmsley era with Stephanie, where the character of annoying Stephanie would be born, and they would rule Raw for months and months. Triple H winning the title from Big Show, the first Raw of the new year, and yeah, that's how that went. And yeah, Fatal 4-Way at WrestleMania 2000. But overall, it was good. It was a good show. Yeah, it had the women's match. No, if you want to call it a match. But it was enjoyable. It really was. I'd actually give this show an 8.5 out of 10. Yeah, the women's match wasn't that good. The Tag Team Battle Royal was entertaining, but it wasn't great. It was just there. But otherwise, pretty good matchups. The tag team match was entertaining. The triple threat match was good. The tag team match with Rikishi and Viscera, probably a low point, but not a horrible point either. It was there to get the Hollies a win. But, either way, still entertaining. So that leads to 1 month from now. I do have a other Retro Rewind coming up where I will be reviewing the Royal Rumble 2000 in a couple of weeks. 2001, actually. But I want you guys to pick what I review at the end of next month. I get you guys 4 options. You guys can vote for that on Twitter. You guys can vote for that on the Facebook group or my Facebook page. You guys will be able to do that. But your next options are Sin 2001, Royal Rumble 1992, Guilty as Charged 1999, or Sold Out 1997. Those will be your options. Go and vote on Twitter or in the Facebook group. Thank you guys. Hope you guys had a great day. But remember, stay healthy, stay safe, and above all else, join the nation. I'll talk to you later.